Hey everybody, Italo here from Roia Moto. Today I showed you the step-by-step how you can remove the fuel tank of your Honda CRF300L. First thing we gotta do is to remove the seat, so you're gonna have this bolt here on both sides. It's either going to be an Allen bit number 5 or number 6. It depends if you have installed any rear rack. Now we're going to remove this bolt. Also here you're going to need the Allen bit number 5. Right here where you have the connection between the white and red plastic, there's a plastic pin. You press in the center and then you can pull out with your fingernails. Now you're going to remove 1, 2 and 3 bolts. Also with a 5mm Allen bit. Now you're looking on the right side of the motorcycle where you have the radiator cover. Right here on top there's also a plastic pin that you have to press in its center. And then you pull out with your fingernails as well. Now we can pull this cover here out. And also the next one. And right here against the fuel tank you have 2 velcros in here. So if you just pull like that, then you can kind of disconnect in here and you get this part out. Now let's repeat the same here on the left side. 1, 2, 3 and 4 bolts. Now you're looking on the left side of the motorcycle. That's where we have the expansion vessel. Here there's a bolt, so we're going to get this bolt here out. And then up top and another one right in here, you have 2 of these plastic clips, plastic pins, so you just press in the center and pull out with your fingernails. Also in here you have the plastic pin, so remove this plastic pin here as well. $8mm hex socket. We're going to remove these 2 bolts in here. Now you have this top bolt holding the fuel tank in place. That's also 8mm, so let's remove this one. Same bolt, but on the left side of the motorcycle. Hey, a quick break here from the ride. If you're out exploring on 2 wheels, you already know things can go wrong when you least expect. That's why you gotta be ready with the proper tools and skills to fix your motorcycle. The Roia Moto Tool Kits are the best motorcycle-specific toolkits, lightweight, compact and with high-quality tools. Each kit has everything that you actually need on the trail for your motorcycle model. No extra weight and room taken from your luggage. They have already helped hundreds of riders to keep rolling when it matters most. If you want to ride further with peace of mind, then check out royamoto.com. Now, back to the video. Okay, the fuel tank is loose, but be careful here. You don't want to yank this out now because you have some hoses and also a connector underneath of the fuel tank. So what we're going to do now, just get an old rag or an old t-shirt. We're going to lift the front of the fuel tank and just put this rag here against the frame of the motorcycle. You will soon understand why you're going to be banging your fuel tank quite often in here. So it's just better if you put some protection here on top of the frame. From the right side of the motorcycle, here's the first thing I want to show to you. When you lift the fuel tank like this, okay, you need to look for this white connector right there. Let me see if I can give you a better view. So there is our guy, see right there, this is the connector, okay? And you need to press on the connector right here where I have my finger. You're gonna press in there and then push it to the opposite side to disconnect from the fuel pump. So there it is, disconnected. So now we want to give ourselves some slack to disconnect this hose in here. So what I'm going to do, we're going to lift the fuel tank, but don't pull too much because you have the hose in there. I'm pulling it a little bit towards the back and we want to unhook the hose in here. See, like that. This now gives us a bit of extra movement in here. Now we are going to disconnect the venting hose, and you have this metal clip in here that you have to press with your fingers to make it loose. So you press on it, and then you pull it downwards. So here's our guy right here. See here, I pull it from this position here down. Once you do that, then you're able to pull the hose out like this. Now we have to disconnect this hose in here. Now we have more slack to turn the fuel tank, so it's easier if you do it like this. So here's what we're gonna do now, okay? Here I have a flathead screwdriver bit. Look at this white plastic in here. So you have the black connector and then the white plastic. Here from the bottom, I can push up on this white plastic. Right here, okay, I can push on this plastic. Little pin in here, I can push like that. So when you push, you unhook it, and at the same time I'm gonna push from the bottom. So let's do it. So I'm going with my finger, pushing, and with the flat bait, with the screwdriver bit, I push up at the same time. So that's what you want to aim for when it pops up like this. Now it's the trickiest part of this entire job, to be honest, and you're going to need 2 picks in here. Okay, so I have 2 picks. I recommend it to also have this, otherwise I think it's impossible to do it. I'm gonna try to show it there with a good angle, but in shorts, you have 2 plastic pins in here that are pressing on this white connector that I just showed you. At the same time, on both sides, you're gonna have to open up these plastic pins and then pull up this plastic connector. Let me see if I can give a good angle here with the camera so you can do it with confidence there at home. So here's what we're gonna do, okay? I'm gonna show to you on this side, but just keep in mind you have to repeat exactly the same and at the same time on the opposite side. I come here with the pick and I put it here inside like this, and then I have to pull right there in the center. You're gonna see there's like a pin, a plastic pin in there, and you have to pry it out like this, okay? Not too strong, you don't wanna break it, but you wanna pry it out like this. So I come in on the opposite side, I do that, then I come on the right side, do the same, and then you have to hold tension, you have to keep under tension. Once it is under tension, then you can pull out the connector. Now that I have the connector out, okay, it's just going to be easier for me to show, but hopefully you can see there, right there, there's a little pin, see there, or plastic, see? This is the guy that you're prying on, like that. And as you pry on it, what you're trying to do is to get those pins over this lip in here. So when you pry it open on both sides, it unhooks from this lip and then you can pull it out. So there you have it. That is the step-by-step how you can get the fuel tank out of your Honda CRF300L. Now you could be wondering, why is that a good skill? Well, there are a few reasons for it. Number one, maybe you're planning on changing the fuel tank. I will have a video here on the channel showing how to do that, so that's a skill that's useful to have. Another one, if you're doing the valve clearance or if you're changing the spark plug of your motorcycle, some people prefer to access the spark plug here from the top of the cylinder head. Now I have already posted a video here on the channel about a few weeks ago showing how to change the spark plug socket, but accessing from the side of the motorcycle, so no need to remove the fuel tank. But that's a skill good to have every time that you need to access the top of the cylinder head of your Honda CRF300L. So I hope this video has been useful to you, and I'll ask you for a favor. If you haven't yet, check out roiamoto.com for our motorcycle specific toolkits. Ride safe, and I see you on the next one. Bye bye.